What's good, people? Spud here, and welcome to episode 56 of the Roundup. Sorry, this is such a delayed episode. I was meant to do it the weekend. I'm doing it on Friday. It's coming out in a few hours. It's shocking for me, I'm sorry. But it's actually worked out quite well that we've waited. So, obviously, it's CDL predictions for the season, for the week, first week of qualifiers. So obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about GENTLEMATES' roster. Obviously, they won the KAYSAN Showdown 7. The HUNTSMEN are back. OpTic have got a challengers team, including Halo, former Halo Pro Renegade. And the HUNTSMEN brand is back. I can't wait for that. I'm going to be so invested in the challengers scene this year. I wasn't really invested last year, but with HUNTSMEN going to be there, and obviously OpTic, I'm going to be invested. And yeah, we're going to do our individual predictions for the season, and obviously first week of qualifiers. I can't wait. I've been waiting so long for this. I like how this season's going to pan out, and I think there's 5 very good teams this year, and let's see which one takes the dub. If you do enjoy this video, please do drop a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Sorry, I almost forgot there what I was talking about. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So we're going to start with the OpTic news, the HUNTSMEN. Welcome to the HUNTSMEN. So it's Renegade, Nwim, Kips, and RSPI. Amazing that the HUNTSMEN are back. I think it's a really good idea from OpTic. Hopefully they see challenges as more of a something they can invest in, because OpTic have never had a challengers team for a while or ever, because of the fact that Hex said it's just not profitable and there's no way to make anything about it. But obviously with the players, if they stream, they're playing at the HQ. Obviously Nwim's already met Hex. I think this can be something genuinely pretty good, but obviously the problem is obviously they'll start getting picked up, and then this kind of has to be a roster that sticks, unless obviously a good opportunity comes for them to join the league, because ultimately that is the aim for challengers, is to get into the main league. But I don't know what's going to happen here. Obviously Bound was meant to be on this roster. He has gone back to Halo already. But Renegade stays with OpTic, and he is on the HUNTSMEN challengers team, which I think is really cool. And yeah, obviously every major has a challengers open as well, so obviously you're going to keep our eyes out here for the HUNTSMEN and see how they can do. And obviously with Major 1 being a Pro-Am as well, Major 1 is a Pro-Am. Could the HUNTSMEN potentially be in a CDL event? That would be fucking sick. Imagine we got OpTic versus the HUNTSMEN. That would be unbelievable. Let me tell you that, people. In terms of uploads, it is going to be episode a week for now until the break, and then we see how it goes after that. So we're going to go on to the second part, which is our 2026 CDL predictions. This won't be the longest episode, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Shout out Google Sheets for this, not Slides, sorry. So, 2026 CDL predictions. I'm just going to take the webcam off for this one, just so that you can see the whole screen, because I actually remember doing this last year's episode. You couldn't actually see who the MVP was that I was talking about. So, let's get into it. Obviously, here we've got our major winner predictions. So I've gone Major 1 OpTic, Major 2 LA Thieves, Major 3 OpTic, and Major 4 Paris GENTLEMATES. Obviously, GENTLEMATES are going to be playing in Paris in Major 4. I think the crowd is going to help them get that win. OpTic, Major 1, OpTic Major 3, Major 2 in Birmingham in England. I've gone for the LA Thieves. It was between Thieves or Vegas FaZe. I think obviously it's kind of crazy not to put FaZe to win an event this year. I think they definitely could. I think I could have put FaZe to win one and had OpTic, LA Thieves, FaZe and GENTLEMATES, but it's really difficult this year. But I'm pretty happy with these predictions. Have I gone a bit over enthusiastic on GENTLEMATES because they won KAYSAN Showdown 7? Yeah, potentially. But we'll just see what happens, obviously. It's going to be a long year. So, of the regular season predictions, I've gone for Mercules as the MVP. Maybe that's, I don't know if that's an expected one. It could be anyone on that OpTic team. probably could be MVP. Except no, I think Hugh could be MVP. To be fair, if he plays really good card like he has done in the last couple of OpTic stints. Rookie of the Year was difficult, but I went for Mamba. Obviously, he's on the G2 Minnesota team with Estriel, Kremp, and Skies. Coach of the Year, I've just gone for whoever the mate coaching is. I don't know if it is Vios or not. Vios is obviously the head of COD for GentleMates, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But I think GentleMates are going to have a really good year. Most improved player, I've gone for Insight because of how badly of a year he had last year on Ultra. I think obviously now he's on, well, he's still on Ultra, but obviously he's now Toronto Koi. You know, he was expected not to be with Kleenex this year, but that has ended up being the case where he's still with Kleenex. So I'm pretty happy to go for him. Hard point player of the year, I've gone for Mercules, but I didn't know. I could have went for Mercules, Shotzi, or Dashi. Or Scrap. S&D player of the year, I've gone for Simp. Sorry. Simp's obviously doing what he does best. Control player of the year, Scrap. Scrap's always been a really good control player. I think he's one of the best control players the Call of Duty League's had. And then objective player of the year, I've gone for Ghosty. We know he's a hill kitten. I'm expecting that hill kitten treatment again. I looked at his stats in the KAYSAN Showdown, and I think he had the best hill time per like per 10 seconds in the AR class. So my 2026 champs predictions, I have gone for LA Thieves to do it this time. Scrap and Hydra to win together. Scrap to get his first ring, Hydra to get his second, Kenny to get his third, and Abizi to get his third. I think it'd be a third for Abizi. I've gone for them to beat OpTic, so OpTic just miss out on the three-peat. Obviously, the first org to ever win back-to-back champs. I think they're going to get to the final, but not make it all the way. Dark horses of the season, I've gone for Koi. I think they could get to a grand final. I'm pretty sure I said that about Cloud9 and they didn't make champs last year, but yeah, I like that Koi roster. Flops, I've gone for Riyadh Falcons. I just think that it's not going to be good for them. They'll do better than last season. I have got them making champs, but like in 7th or 8th. Um, Finals MVP, I've gone for Hydra. I think he's going to show why LA Thief signed Hydra. Obviously, he's had a couple of major wins and a minor win, but we know what he's like. Um, so my teams that don't make champs, Raven, Surge, and Cloud9 were pretty easy for me. I've also gone for G2. I think that might be a bit harsher. So they did okay they did well at the Monster Invitational, but I just don't know how they'll do for a full year. So yeah, that's what I've gone for that. And that is the end of those predictions. Like I said, this is a pretty quick episode. There isn't like too much to talk about. Obviously, we talk about the OpTic. KAYSAN Showdown 7, obviously it was OpTic versus GentleMates in the final. OpTic lost 4-1, I believe. It was a good performance. Neptune was shown how good he was. And obviously we talk about Neptune because there was a lot of talk about like why was he not linked with a different roster? Like why was he not like one of the main pieces of roster mania? Obviously GentleMates have picked him up. Really good roster. Sib, Envoy, Ghosty, Neptune, I think they deserve to win a major. I think the roster's great. I think it would be brilliant for the French fans. I think Gentlemates versus OpTic will be a really good rivalry in terms of the fan bases. Obviously, you've got the French passion. OpTic's obviously more of a worldwide brand than Gentlemates, but obviously a lot of American OpTic fans. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this season. By the way, for that last spot in champs, who doesn't make it? It was between G2, Boston Breach, and Falcons. But yeah. let's see my first predictions of the season. Now we're going to do something different on the roundup this year. So MVP ladder and Rookie of the Year ladder will start from week 1. Obviously, it's just going to be whoever the best players are in the first week will be there because I'm not including any pre-season tournaments in here. Rookies, it'll just be whoever plays the best for the first week. You know, that's just how we're going to have to do it. We are going to be doing a new thing though. Now, obviously, it's a bit shit that I'm the only person that does the roundup in terms of like being the only guest. But we're going to do a prediction. We're going to do a prediction chart this year. So we're going to just do every prediction. I'm going to give myself 2 points if I get the game right. So in terms of like, if let's say I have OpTic to beat Falcons, if OpTic beat Falcons, I get 2 points. If I get the score correct, I get myself 5 points. And we'll just see how many points we get by the end of the season. We will also do small giveaways. If I don't hit a certain target in that week. So for example, in that split, sorry, so obviously there's more, not in the majors maybe. I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll talk about that next week's episode. Because I don't actually know. I've made this on the spot, you see. Um, but like an idea that, let's say if so the maximum points you could get is, let's say 1 week it's 55 if there was 11 online qualifiers. If I fail to score half the points, I run a giveaway or something like that. But I'll figure that out in the next few days. Anyway, it's time for our predictions. The first match. Well, how many matches have we actually got? So we've got nine matches to start. So 45 points up for grabs. So Riyadh Falcons versus OpTic Texas. I'm gonna go for, and obviously I'm gonna have to watch a video back and write these down because I always do the predictions on the spot, except obviously the major predictions. I'm gonna go with OpTic winning this 3-1. First match of the season. Then we have Royal Ravens versus Breach. This is going to be a pretty close series. I'm going to go for the first game 5 of the season, but I'm going to go with Boston Breach winning this 3-2. And then we have LA Thieves versus FaZe Vegas. This one is going to be a banger to start the Friday games off. And I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with FaZe to win this. I'm going to go with FaZe to win this 3-2. Or for Masterclass, or for Simp to pop off in the S&D to beat the Thieves and start the season off strong. And then we have Saturday's games. We start with the Spanish derby, Toronto Koi versus Miami Heretics. And I'm going to go, obviously, Real. First game was Real, obviously now on the Koi. I'm going to go 3-1 to Koi. I just think, obviously, Miami are going to be weaker this season without Real. They've obviously got Traix in from Argentina. A new rookie. Might take a little bit of time. So I'm going to go 3-1 Koi. Then we have Vancouver Surge versus Gentlemates. I'm going to go with Gentlemates winning this 3-0. Actually, I've got them 3-0 here. And then we have the final game of the weekend is actually an interesting one. G2 versus Cloud9. I quite like this matchup, and I'm going to go with 3-1 to G2. Caesar Skies Bueno S&D Masterclass on map 2 to be part of this victory. I quite like those predictions. But obviously we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But I'm really excited for the first week of the season to start, just to get the COD going again. I think it's going to be exciting. Um, But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Obviously, the next episode will be longer because there's more to talk about. Um, but yeah, let me know who you've got winning this weekend and who you think's going to win the season and Major 1. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.